Well, good morning, everybody. Just finished packing up, left the campsite just the way I found it. And we are headed up the trail, or down the trail. I don't know. We're headed south towards the great state of Georgia. We won't cross the Georgia line today, although we could if we really wanted to. I plan on camping probably within about a 1/10 of a mile from the Georgia line. And once you get to the Georgia line, there's really not another campsite further south that I can think of. So I'm gonna probably just do the state crossing on the next morning when I leave. So what's in store for today? Well, we first of all, I'd like to say it's cold. I've got the jacket on again. I do have cell service, so I checked weather and it says it's 52 in Franklin. Well, we're not in Franklin anymore. We actually camped at, the site is at 4,500 feet in elevation, so we're pretty up there, right? So it got chilly last night. I slept in this jacket last night with the sleeping bag. So I would say it's probably, I don't know, 47, something like that. So it's a little cooler than I anticipated. So the plan for today, I miscalculated yesterday when I was on the video. I think I said I was going to do about 14 today. It's actually a little over 15 again today. And the biggest climb we have is up to Standing Indian Mountain. Now you should have some really nice views on Standing Indian Mountain. I did the last time I come over it, but that's been several years ago now. And things have grown up a lot. Look at this. Look how thick everything is. So I've been disappointed sometimes thinking I'm going to have a view and then I can't get past the bushes. So we'll see how that turns out. But Standing Indian's at 5,400 feet. So that's higher than Mount Katahdin. So, but it's not nearly as extreme in the climb. So from where we start will be about 1,000 feet in elevation climb. And that elevation is over, I'd say about 2.5 miles to the top. So it's a much more gradual climb, nothing too dramatic, but it's up there at 5,400. So that'll be the biggest climb we have for today. And then we'll head back off the other side, of course, and a lot of that'll be downhill. Not all of it, there's still some climbing, but most of the big climb will be up Standing Indian. So, with all that said, I hope everybody's had a great morning so far, and we'll look forward to catching up with you a little further down this path. All right, everybody. We have we've come almost 4 miles in almost 2 hours, so we're making a proper pace, I would say. And we have really just begun the climb up to our highest point today, which, as I mentioned, was Standing Indian Mountain. So they do a great job here in North Carolina with using switchbacks. So you see the trail there where we came up and we just switched back there. And we're going back the opposite direction. But just in a few steps, we're already probably, I don't know, 30 or 40 feet up from the trail we were previously on before we switched back. So it certainly helps take some of the steepness out of the trail, but it's still up. And I'm still huffing a little bit. But we're about 2.3 miles from the top of Standing Indian. And again, that's our tallest point for today. And I don't think, as I look at the blue sky, I don't think there's a cloud in the sky. So if views are possible, we're gonna get them today, that's for sure. So I look forward to getting up there, checking that out. I remember the first time, or the last time, I hiked up Standing Indian. I was coming northbound, and of course I had not hiked a whole lot of the trail at that point, less than 100 miles, and I was just really impressed with the views from Standing Indian Mountain. So I'm about out of air, so I'm gonna stop talking here and get back to walking, and we will check back with you and go further down the path. I'm still finding a few blackberries along the trail, and that slows down my pace dramatically because I will pick every blackberry off of here before I go. Trail's slowing me down a little bit. You can tell it is really overgrown up here, big time. Do some trail maintenance here for sure. And I'm sure that when the hiking season begins, that's when these trail maintainers really come out. And this trail's probably pristine, but I have to remind myself that I'm coming in, going down this trail to kind of late in the season, you know, for this area. You know, there's not a lot of through hikers at this point in the game in North Carolina or Georgia, so it's kind of slow, and there will be a surge a small bubble of folks that'll come through. That'll be probably the first group you'll see that they'll see here will be through hikers that began their hike going northbound out of Harper's Ferry. That happened in late April, and they probably are just now flipping. For the most part, they probably are maybe in Virginia now, so they should be here in another month or 6 weeks. So maybe they'll come back out before that bubble comes through and clean it up a bit. It's all good. No complaints. It's all right. All right, we're almost to the top. We'll talk to you when we get there. All right, everybody. We made it to the top of Standing Indian Mountain. And it's kind of as feared. It has really grown up since I was here last. I did run into another hiker on the way up, and he was coming down towards me. And I asked him if he saw any views, and he said there's some. He says just a couple of tenths of a mile past the peak, which we just crossed the peak. He said there's a little cutout area where you can get a shot, but other than that, he agreed it's really grown up and not as many views as there was years ago. So we'll go down here and see what this spot offers if I can find it, and maybe we'll get a shot off of it. We'll see if I don't fall. All right, folks. I have found a view spot. Had to work for it. Had to climb up a hill to get to it. But man, how pretty. Zoom on out there. I am not sure what that lake is. I think we're a little bit too far south to be Fontana anymore. And there are a lot of lakes in this area for sure, so I'm just not familiar with that particular one. But real pretty. Got this embankment on the left. I wonder if I could climb to the top of that. I might check it out and see. All right, everybody. I think I found the cutout that the fellow was talking to me about. We got some great views here. These are the views that I remember, particularly back in this direction. Real pretty. Pretty awesome. All right, I'm gonna take some still shots and we'll keep heading south from Standing Indian Mountain. All right, everybody, making good progress. We're probably about 7 miles from our destination. And I'm gonna pull over here in the next few minutes and maybe have a little bit of lunch. So let's see what I can find in the bag. It's still interesting. Kind of getting tired of the spam and tortillas. I like them, but I forgot my condiments. I don't have any mustard or mayonnaise or anything like that, so yeah, it's not great without the condiments. So I have to dig in there and see what I can pull together. All right, I did stop for lunch. Y'all saw my choice there. I had the star-kissed jambalaya, it's basically beans and rice and tuna. Very flavorful. You don't have quite the protein content that you would if you just had the tuna, but it's very flavorful. and pretty filling. So no regrets there. It was a good option. We're climbing up out of that gap where I had the lunch. It's about a 4,000. Oh, sorry. It's about a 400 foot gain in elevation, but it's pretty short. So it's rather steep. So we're making it. A good climb though. Very good climb. I think we're about to level out right here. All right, check with y'all a little later. All right, everybody. I just checked and it appears that I am right 3 miles shy of my destination. And it's 2 o'clock, so that should put me in about 3:30. So make great progress. Probably something I'm gonna miss when I get off this trail is this green tunnel, they call it. Just a tunnel of rhododendrons. They're pretty. Yeah, I made contact with Donna, the lady who runs the Green Dragon. The Green Dragon is a fairly new hostel. I was not, not been there for a long time, less than 5 years, I'm sure, in Hiawassee. And well, they've got a great reputation of doing a good job for people. And I look forward to being there tomorrow night. We're working to, dial in the pickup time for tomorrow, which tomorrow I don't think I'll have more than 10 miles. So I told her, I said, I'll be there by 1 o'clock or before 1 o'clock. So she'll be ready for that, I'm sure. And just making my way to Bly Gap. Bly Gap's kind of interesting. I look forward to highlighting that when we get there. Check it out. All right, everybody. I guess that's it for now. And we'll look forward to catching up with you a little further up this path. All right, everybody, we reached our destination, into Bly Gap. Plenty of place for a tent for sure, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna plan on camping here. And this is the famous oak tree at Bly Gap. It is, you can see here that the roots of the tree are here, but somehow the tree itself got pinned down here and began growing up from there. How does that happen? Well, I did a little study on that a few years ago, and I think there's probably a number of speculations and reasons, and nobody knows exactly. But one theory is that the Cherokee Indians did this time to time, and there's other trees like this, where they found a sapling, imagine a small oak tree, and they would tie that tree down in the direction of the trail. They would tie that sapling down in the direction of the trail, and it would send a signal to those who followed that some type of signpost saying that this is the way to go, or this is the way we went, or whatever. And over time, that tree grew in that way as it was tied down. Don't know. Is it myth, legend, or could it be real? I don't know. Sounds like a good theory to me. But again, Bly Gap, our destination. We're at mile 78 point something or another. We did over 15 miles today. And I can tell you that I am tempted to keep on walking because the North Carolina-Georgia line is, I can almost see it from here. But I think I'll save it till tomorrow. I don't know. There's no place to camp. But I don't know. We'll do it tomorrow. Let's save that. All right. Hope everybody's had a great day. And we'll look forward to seeing you first thing tomorrow as we cross over into the 14th state out of 14, going into the great state of Georgia. Have a great evening, and we'll talk to you first thing in the morning. From Bly Gap.